a big old hunk of spring steel, 3.5 inches long. It's about 1 inch by 1 1/8 of an inch on the height and width. And I've done a little bit of pre-work to this. It was rounded on this side. It's kind of flattened that on the belt sander so I could put a rock and roll on the anvil. And I went ahead and marked where I'm going to start to drift the hole for the eye, for the handle. And I've also done a little bit of pre-work up here, just kind of knocked the corners off to try to save me some forging time, trying to keep fish lips in order. But now I'm going to go ahead and get this in the forge, get it hot, and we're going to pull it out, and we're going to start drifting the eye. All right. Start with the flat side first, just because it's going to be easier. Alright, so I'm starting on the other side, and the forge is hot enough I can start shutting it off. I do have a fan running in the background, but other than that, so I'm about 1/3 of the way through on the other side. So I'm going to take some heats getting through this side, and of course I'll be alternating. Oops, that didn't hurt. Alright, so my 3rd heat on this side. Probably just bring it back when I'm about ready to pop the plug. There'll probably be a couple more heats. Alright, so this thing is about ready to come out. Looks like I got a pretty good mark and a pretty good punch. I'm not seeing much rag, so it looks like I nailed the measurement on both sides. I'm gonna flip this over. bring it up here on the anvil. Getting it a little bit darker, trying to get a sheer. Alright, might be getting a little bit too dark now. Yeah, it's like right there. Maybe we'll get it this time. Like right there. There it goes. Alright, we got it popped out. Not a bad looking hole. Don't see any rag at all, so I nailed the measurement. So, I'm not going to drift that out quite yet. I'm going to start to form this front because that's going to distort this eye quite a bit. So I'm going to start forming that now before I come back and drift that out. I'm trying to decide if I want to put like an isolation behind the eye. I just don't know yet. It might just be a simple, I might just make like a simple wedge. I just went ahead and decided I would. That looks about good right there. Alright, my third heat. I'm going to have to lose this glove now that I'm not drifting anymore. I'm not going to go too deep, maybe one more. Alright, so I'm going to stop right there and turn this thing up on its, that's all this. fix this a little bit here. I'm going to save that material. I could have ground it flat, but I really want to save that material. I don't really want to grind anything off. Alright, stop it there. Now this metal here has a long way to move. So I'm kind of already determining that this is going to be the bottom. So we'll keep it hot so we can move it faster. Okay, so this is going to be extremely repetitive. I'm just going from one side to the other, trying to fan this out, keep everything even, not to get wonky on one side. Once you get it off center, it's really a pain to get it back. You start chasing it from one side to the other, and the more you do that, the more it screws up the eye. But I'm just going to keep doing this side to side, fixing this upset as I go, fixing this upset as I go, and when I get it thin enough to a point where I think I can finish it off without screwing the eye up too much, then I'm going to go ahead and drift the eye out. So I'm going to go ahead and keep working on this. I'll bring it back when it's time to start drifting that hole bigger. Alright, so I'm going to take a minute and adjust this. This top to be somewhat flat. Flat and then down at an angle. Alright, so it's actually a week later. When I last had the camera on, we were still tapering out the blade, bringing everything down close to its final dimension. But before we finish this off, we're going to start drifting this eye out. So that's what we're going to get on next, and hopefully we can get this finished up today. Alright, so I'm leaving the forge on until everything gets heated up. So I'm just going to start over the hardy hole. Alright, so I've taken quite a few heats, getting everything hot enough to where I can shut the forge off. And I got the drift down in there. It's down in there a good bit, I guess. And trying not to drive it in too far. I'm trying to widen it the deeper I go. You gotta do a lot of flipping and flopping. Keep everything all centered up. Once it starts to get off, it's a real pain in the butt once it gets crooked. So I'm going to start coming in on the top side. I'm going to use my swedge block stand here. I don't want to mess up the bottom. The bottom profile of the drift, or not the drift, the hatchet. Take a few heats on the top side. Take a few more heats with this drift, and I'm going to switch to a bigger drift. Yeah, if you're going to start forging stuff, you got to learn to tap dance too. It helps. Trying to keep it straight. This looks like it's trying to get off a little bit here. All right. Try to keep that. I'm going to try and keep it as straight as possible as I go. I'm going to go back on the bottom now. I am almost ready to switch to my bigger drift. All right, do one more on the top side, and then I'm going to switch. All right, so now I got my pretty much just my hammer drift. I'm going to start back in on the bottom. Try to make sure everything's straight. I don't want to get too crazy too fast. Alright, that's our second heat with the bigger drift. And it's going to go gradual. I'm not going to get too impatient. Don't need no cracks. This is going to be my last drift on the bottom for now. I'm going to start coming in on the top. Coming on the other side. So in between heats, I'm over there hand sanding a knife. Yay! Always fun. The first heat starting off on the top, so let's get it back in, do it again. Second heat coming in the top side. Okay, now number 3. Not bad. Normally my water bucket's right there, but I was smart enough to move it. So, I'm going to finish this bottom off, and I've got a little bit of straightening to do. I think I'm going to do any more. Heavy forging on this eye. Now I think it's time to switch to a finer hammer and start to smooth everything out, get it shaped up. So the blade's a little bit wonky. I gotta kind of move it over here a bit. Alright, so I'm going to use the drift as a handle. I'm going to try to get that moved over where it needs to be. Alright, so it's probably going to take a couple of heats. Alright, so Still a little crazy over there on that side. Woo. Drift got a little long. So, yeah, it is a bit off. I gotta get the blade over here. Alright, so I'm gonna drive this home and probably call it. I think I'm hitting the all right. I guess while I got everything hot, I'll get the drift in it, put my mark in it. All right, get my mark in here. Before it cools down, it'll be nice. Alright. Got that in, nice and looks like it went in pretty good. Still a little off. Well, I think that might have got it. Alright, so I'm going to switch hammers yet again. I'm going to do a little bit of light forging on the top. Probably not on the top, probably just along the inside of the bottom. A few marks in here for my swedge. I'm just doing light forging because I don't want to get the eye all messed up again. But it's just a few marks from where it was banging on the swedge. Trying to get some of that out. little bit more. It's kind of thick up there, so there's some material we can use. Make it a little broader. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the guillotine tool and I'm going to kind of clean up back here. I'm just kind of taking care not to get anything screwed up. Yeah, we're just doing some cleanups, kind of get out some of the forging marks, smoothing it down. Alright, so I'm going to run one final drift here. After the forging that we did, I'll run it on the top, and we'll run it through the bottom. I believe this is where we're going to stop. Final run. Check everything out while it's on the drift. A little bit wonky here. Much better. Alright, so here's the forging. Should give you a closer look, but I'm just going to do a few normalization cycles. And after we probably do 2 or 3 of these, probably 3. And after this, we'll do some close-ups on how the forging went, and maybe a little bit of a profile on the belt grinder. I don't know yet. So hold on. All right, so I went ahead after this thing cooled down and took it over the belt sander, did the profile on it, got the edge started, got the back here cleaned up. I did a little bit of file work in the eye. Wasn't much there required to do, so I was happy about that. And the rest of the little hatchet, I'm just going to leave the forged finish on it. So this is ready for heat treat and a handle. So I am going to go ahead and stop the video right here, but just kind of wanted to highlight the forging. If you want to continue to follow this build, you can look for it on my Instagram page. I'll continue to put pictures up with the progress until this is done. And then eventually it's going to wind up on my Etsy store. So you can check me out there also at Metalman Productions. So go ahead and get you some close-ups of the finished hatchet. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.